takes going out in the ministry to do this. And sometimes it mentions like if a person's too busy, they acknowledge that. Like, I know these are busy times. I'll come back. Then do so.
Thank you. Sister Deja, please.
Do that with some preparation and practice. We can be able to do what some brothers do when a person says they're busy. In 1 minute, we can share a scripture and leave a question, so that way they still get something that might let their spiritual appetite for the next day.
Because what's the, well, maybe it was possibly earned by a few, but what's the reputation of there's a giveaway that some have about Jehovah's Witnesses and the persistence at the door? Sister Rainer, please.
Viewpoint of some people is that we try to get our foot in the door so that we can force feed them, and we don't want to do that. We want to be gentle. We want to be very kind to them, because that really will help them when the next witness comes along. And I had an experience once. This one person was swearing out at me, and his wife was listening to the other sister on the other side of the building, and we said, well, you have a good day, and we left. And you know what? He said, this man came into the truth eventually. And he went to his wife, and he said, so those people were really kind, even though I was being mean. So it always pays to be gentle.
All right, we have an assigned scripture that we read, Colossians chapter 4, verse 6. That's what Hernandez said.
Colossians 4, verse 6 reads, let your utterance be always with graciousness, seasoned with salt, so as to know how you ought to give an answer to each one.
Thank you for the application of the scripture in those varying situations in the candidates. All right, let's now go on to our next paragraph.
When we meet people during our daily activities, we can often awaken their interest in the good news if we are prepared to do informal witnessing. Many brothers and sisters carry some literature in their pocket or handbag. They may also have a specific Bible text in mind to share with others if the opportunity arises. You might speak with the service overseer or pioneers in your congregation about how you can prepare yourself to do that.
Paragraph 18 now. What might we do to be more effective at informal witnessing? But Hernandez.
I remember many years ago they used to call it, I think, either incidental or accidental witnessing, but it's intentional at this point. We want to do that. So how many times have we gotten in a conversation with somebody and wished we had something nearby to give them, you know? So maybe now it's a good idea for us to make it a goal just to put something there. Maybe a little tract in your purse, your pocketbook, or your wallet that can fit, you know? And then maybe when you see somebody reading something negative, like a newspaper or something, you can give them something happy to read.
We had a brother at our help us to appreciate those who are out in the workforce. He says, how long you been working with these fellas or with these persons? Some said 20, some said 15, 25 years. You know them well, don't you? At least you should know their character and their personality. He says, well, this can't be part of your territory. And when I thought about it, it made a lot of sense. I've known some individuals there and for 25, 27 years.
refer to our encyclopedia brain and draw out information to share with them.
Very good, thank you. Mrs. Bell, please.
Just yesterday I had the opportunity to, I don't even know how it came up, but we just started talking about the Bible, and the person that I was talking to said he was a retired minister, and we were discussing different things, and then he said to me something that I thought was unusual. He goes, "Gee, I didn't know Jehovah's Witnesses had a sense of humor." We were just, I don't know, and I said, well, we all have different personalities, so we're not always, not all of us have the same, humor or, jovialness or whatever. But I said, it doesn't mean that we're not happy people. We're just like everybody else. We all have different personalities. But we really had a nice discussion, and I think he really appreciated that. And as a matter of fact, when I was leaving, he said, "No, you can stop witnessing to people now." As I was leaving. But I did enjoy his conversation, and he was really pleasant to talk to. And even though I didn't have to mention I was a witness, or I was a witness or a minister, he really wanted to emphasize to me that he was a retired minister. But we don't have to do that. We can talk to people about Jehovah without telling them our position.
Retired. That's interesting. From the perspective that we know it being a lifetime period. All right, let's now move on to our next subject, please.
Gently arousing our relatives. Naturally, we would like to help our relatives to accept the good news. If our initial effort is rebuffed, that could dampen our enthusiasm for trying again. We might imagine that there is little we can do or say that will change their attitude. Still, events may cause a change in your relative's life or viewpoint, or you may have improved in your ability to explain the truth, so that you might now have a different result.
Paragraph 19. Why should we not abandon efforts to help our relatives?
Like the paragraph mentioned, everybody's circumstance from time to time changes into as what my wife was saying. The occasion was my uncle passed away, and while I was finishing off my mourning and relatives, my wife had the command of my uncle's congregation members. They're Pilgrim Holiness Church, nice folks, but she had their attention. One admitted that he has a copy of the World Translation, and another female member mentioned this. She said she knows several Jehovah's Witnesses, and her quote, not mine, says that she said they put us to shame. So it was a sad event, but a nice event, good outcome.
Thank you for remaining standing. We'll go on to the next paragraph, please.
We should avoid being insensitive to our relatives' feelings. Should we not speak as kindly to them as we do to those we meet in the preaching work? Speak with mildness and respect without being preachy. Give evidence of how the truth has affected you for the good. Make plain how Jehovah has enriched your life, teaching you to benefit yourself. Let your relatives see you an example of Christian living.
Paragraph 20. Now, why is tact important when speaking to relatives? Let's make this clear.
We could again use that illustration about waking somebody up too quick, taking a shave, let all light in all at once. You're going to get a bad result. They're going to be mad at you. But if we use tact, then we pull up the shade a little bit at a time, maybe shedding a little bit of light here and there where it works into it in a nice, kind conversation, and use that tact, then they're okay with it. Okay, it's not so bad waking up.
Because our relatives may may feel more comfortable saying something a little off and being a little forward to them. And because we didn't learn overnight, we have to understand that we have to take baby steps with them too. So we have to treat them the way that we were treated and be a good example of what we're trying to help them.
Thank you. Let's now go on to paragraphs 21 and 22.
Recently, a sister wrote, "I'm always trying to witness to my 13 brothers and sisters by my speech and conduct. I never let a year go by without writing to each of them. Yet, for 30 years, I have been the only witness in the family." The sister continued, "One day, I phoned one of my sisters who lives hundreds of miles away. She told me that she asked her preacher to study the Bible with her, but he never did. When I said that I would be glad to help, she said, 'All right, but I'm telling you now, I will never be one of Jehovah's Witnesses.' After mailing her the book, 'What Does the Bible Really Teach?' I called her every 2 days, but she still had not opened the book. Finally, I asked her to get her book, and for about 15 minutes over the phone, we read and discussed some of the quoted scriptures. After a few more calls, she wanted to study for more than 15 minutes. Then she began calling me for her study, sometimes before I was even out of bed in the morning, and sometimes twice a day. The next year, she got baptized, and the year after that, she began pioneering."
Paragraphs 21 and 22. Relate an experience that shows the value of persevering in efforts to help relatives spiritually. Okay, let's have some free to me. I'm not ignoring all the folks who have their hands up, but trying to broaden out a little bit. Please, let's have sitting in cool.
Well, just as I have two mothers. One lives in New York City, and I've been talking to her about my life as Jehovah's Witness and my beliefs, and she wants to study. And this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to study with her.